Episode 3 of the Fallout television series is titled The Head. Like last episode, I am not going to retell the story, rather I'm going to discuss the lore and talk about the main story highlights. The episode starts with a flashback where we see Cooper Howard filming a scene in one of the westerns that he made. The scene requires him to kill the bad guy. This distresses Howard deeply because it goes against the character that he had created. He also learns that his friend Bob was found to be a communist. Bob was the lead writer for his movies. Then we see Howard's wife for the first time, and she gives him an outfit to wear for a promotional photo op with some executives from Vault-Tec. She says she's even got them to make it in his colors. As we saw, his cowboy outfit is the same colors that the Vault jumpsuits are. This indicates that it was Cooper Howard's sheriff character that the Vault Boy and the suits were based on. The scene cuts to Howard as a ghoul, where we see him use a chem, which seems to clear up a cough. This chem will become more relevant later. For now, let's continue. We next see Lucy sitting by a fire eating some yum-yum deviled eggs, and then she carries on a conversation with the head of Wilzig. We see her putting a tracking device in the nose, which is quite smart of her. The scene then cuts to Maximus, where he is attempting to fix the power armor from the damage he received during his fight with the ghoul. He receives a transmission from the Brotherhood, who informs him they are sending him a new squire on account of him pretending to be the knight he let die. Maximus ends up in a fight with would-be thieves, and after initially getting his butt kicked, he finds some new items to use as weapons to even the odds. During the second scuffle, he learns a new trick with his power armor. I can't help but wonder just how good he would be if he had been given formal training. As I have stated in a previous video, I really hope they incorporate power armor training into the next Fallout game. When we next see Lucy, she is near a river, which happens to be where Hollywood Boulevard is. She is quickly attacked by a gulper that ends up taking Wilzig's head. This is where the ghoul catches up with Lucy, and a very tense interaction ensues. The scene then cuts to Norm, back in Vault 33. He is in the process of being disciplined by the council. This is quite the scene because it shows just how awesome Norm is at being able to manipulate the council through use of his speech skill. After a brief cut to Maximus and his new squire finding the trail that both Lucy and the ghoul had taken, we cut back to the ghoul, who is now using Lucy as bait for the gulper. After a brief battle with the gulper, the ghoul ends up taking Lucy on what we gamers would recognize as a side quest. The best part is how he said it. He said that the wasteland has its own golden rule. Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time. What a great line to portray the fact that we gamers get sidetracked from the main quest by other things in every game in the Fallout franchise. The scene then cuts back to Maximus, and we get some more lore on the power armor. We learn that there is a water bag in the helmet of the armor, and we see the squire refilling this bag as Maximus has the squire talk to him about him. It's an interesting scene, and I like that we continue to learn more about how the power armor works. I look forward to learning more about it in the future. The scene then cuts back to the vault, where the survivors have gotten together to discuss what to do with the surviving raiders who were captured, and once again, Norm uses his speech skill masterfully. Norm not only brings up the best solution, which sets the vault dwellers at odds with each other, but he also pits the council against one another. He does this with one simple phrase: "I didn't mean to offend, Overseer." By not saying which person of the 3 council members he was speaking to, they just don't know how to respond. This also undermined their authority with the rest of the vault. The scene then takes a turn for the worse as they find out the water chip has been destroyed. This is a callback to Fallout 1, where finding a new water chip was the first part of the main quest in that game. The water chip even looks like the one from the game. I love the fact that the show is paying close attention to the details. I think this is part of the reason the show is such a success. We next cut back to Maximus, where they have now found the river and battle with the Gulper. This time the Gulper loses and they find Wilzig's head. This was a short but funny scene as we get to see how Maximus tries to deal with the situation. We next see the ghoul and Lucy walking through the desert, and the ghoul seems to be trying to teach her about how hard life is on the surface. Lucy doesn't quite understand the lesson yet, but she will. In the final minutes of the episode, we cut to a flashback where Cooper Howard is at the photo op and he creates the iconic Vault Boy thumbs up. This is quite the scene as we learn that Vault Boy is based on Cooper Howard. We also see this in the pan-out shot as the first thing we see is a billboard in front of the Hollywood sign that shows the Vault Boy and Cooper Howard. Although this time it looks like the Vault Boy was put on top of Howard, almost like there was a different picture on the billboard, and it got replaced by the Vault Boy poster. This too will become more relevant later in the series, so stay tuned for that. So far we have seen quite a bit, and we continue to learn more about these characters. The show has done a great job of putting us in the world of Fallout, and will continue to do so as we progress through the season. For now, I want to hear your thoughts on the episode. What did you think about it? Was there something in this episode that intrigued you? Did I miss anything that you thought should have been covered? Sound off in the comments below. While you're at it, like, subscribe, and share. And as always, I'm just glad you stopped by. And I'll see you in the next one.